What's up, everybody? Welcome back to Pens and Tea. My name is Carrie, and today we're going to be talking about a pink lemonade iced tea and the Waterman Carene. So this is another one of the iced teas that David's Tea offers. This one in particular is pink lemonade. I'm not actually a huge fan of this one. This is the first iced tea that I've had from them that I'm not, super fan of. It smells great, but it's really sour. I mean, lemonade you would expect to be sour, but I didn't quite expect it to be as sour as it was. This is a rooibos tea, however you want to pronounce that word right there, which generally I'm not a fan of, but I thought I'd give it a try anyways. It's not, not drinkable. It's just not one of my favorites. It's very tart, so I have to add sweetener to it. So if you don't like to add any extra sugars or anything like that to it, this may not be a good one for you unless you want a really sour lemonade. I'm going to try a couple different ways of steeping it, maybe a little less, a little more. I haven't found the perfect way yet for me. So this probably wouldn't be one that I would buy again. But yeah, I may try mixing it with other teas. The main flavors are like pineapple, lemon peel, hibiscus, a little bit florally, but essentially the way you would expect a pink lemonade to taste. This does taste like it. It's just, like I said, too tart for me. Benefit of it is that it is 0 caffeine, so you can drink as much of it as you want with no adverse effects. There is a little bit of sugar in here already, which I cannot detect whatsoever, but you may want to add some more if you do decide to have it. It recommends to put in 2 teaspoons into your boiling water for about 4 to 7 minutes. That is going to be preferential. I'm going to do it again at like 3 minutes and see if it's a little bit better with a little bit more sugar. But that's what David's Tea recommends. So that is the pink lemonade, think pink. I have paired the Waterman Carene, as we pronounce it in North America, Carene, if you're going to actually be French. But I'm a bad Canadian despite my, graphic tea here, and I don't speak French. So there you go. It's Carene for me. This pen looks very elegant. I like the design of it. Supposedly it's kind of like a Bauhaus, like a bottom of a ship, which I can kind of understand. It's black and gold. You can get tons of finishes in this. I chose the black and gold because I got a heck of a deal on it, but there are loads and loads of other finishes that you can choose from it. It's pretty simple design. I love the clip. So it has the typical Waterman clip where it's kind of got that break in the middle with the Waterman logo. Can't really show it there, but the Waterman logo at the top. And it is a perfect functioning clip. It's the exact, what you would want for firmness and what you would want, for actually being able to use it. I think it's perfect. Very, chill gold band around here. And then just at the very end, has this little kind of gold knob thing. Snap cap, and you have an 18 karat gold nib, which, spoiler alert for the writing sample, writes very well. And then it unscrews to reveal a cartridge right now, but it does come with a converter also. I have Waterman Serenity Blue in here because when I bought this pen, they give you 8 of these standard international long cartridges. So they give you a ton of ink with your pen. So that is cool. So I definitely love the fact that it is very, very smooth. Again, I love that it's standard international. You can get so many different finishes. The design, I think, is just elegant. Definitely nothing flashy with this. I mean, it's black and gold, and believe it or not, I don't actually own a black and gold pen, so this is my first one. I think it is super, super elegant. I really like the look of it. I love the feel. The weight of it is perfect. It's going to be more along the lines of like a TWSBI Diamond 580. Maybe slightly heavier than that. Yeah, I would say a little slightly heavier than that, but pretty darn close, even in like lengthwise. You know, body-wise, it's a little bit slimmer, but lengthwise is pretty close. So, you know, snap cap, push to post. It posts very well, and it is not back heavy at all when posted, which for me is typically a really big issue, but it just sits very nicely in the crook of my hand. I still don't post it just because I don't typically post any of my pens, so just out of habit I don't, but you definitely can, and it fits very well. The grip section is amazing. So it doesn't really have a super defined grip section. It's very large, and I really, really like that, because then you can hold it basically wherever you want. And even if your finger does happen to go on the edge of the nib right here, you won't get any ink until you get down to like the tip. And I mean, I don't imagine you would hold it down that far. So even if you were to hold it super close, like right on the edges of this, you won't get any ink on your fingers, which is cool. There's a slight step here, but I mean, nothing too noticeable. The only thing that I came up with as far as like any negatives is just that you can't interchange the nib. It's not one that you can take out or remove or anything like that. It's obviously built into the pen. And I think it looks super cool. There's not many nibs that look like that. So I really dig it. And I really couldn't come up with any other, like, quote unquote negative. You know, there's a positive push when you close it. I really, really like it. So trying to come up with any, like, downsides to it, I couldn't. I really couldn't. I guess you could say, you know, a negative can maybe be price depending on what you feel. To me, I got this one at a steal. I got this one for about $180, which is why I went with that black finish. Typically in the US, you're going to find it for around $250, you know, retail price. In Canada, you're going to find it about $300 and up, depending on the finish you get, retail price. So I really, really lucked out on this one. So, you know, for me, it was amazing. And I would absolutely recommend it, even at the, you know, standard retail price, because I really like it. And I'm going to even tell you more about it when we jump into the writing sample next. Alright, so like I said, this is the Waterman Carene. This is a medium nib, 18 karat gold, and I have the Waterman Florida Blue or Serenity Blue, depending on, you know, if it's the old ink or the new ink, cartridge that was provided with the pen currently installed. This pen is really, really smooth. There is a slight, like ever so slight hint of feedback, just enough to know that you are, you know, moving the nib across the page. But it's certainly one of the smoother pens that I had that came straight out of the box like that. So I really appreciate it. It's not the wettest writer, but it's definitely not, I wouldn't say like super dry either. This is a drier ink. I know a lot of you are Waterman ink fans, so I don't want to say too much because I'm going to get in trouble. I'm not a huge fan of Waterman brand inks. I'm not a huge fan of this color. I think it's a little bit dull for my liking, but I am more of a fan of heavily saturated inks, or inks that are, you know, if they're going to be a little bit lighter, that are really like prone to shading, like last week's video with a Noodler's Apache Sunset kind of thing. So this will definitely shine even more with a wetter ink. But that said, I'm still super impressed that they give you so much ink right from the get-go. They really want you to get into the fountain pen hobby if this one, you know, is your first pen. You're going to get a little bit of line variation because it is a gold pen. You're not going to get a crazy amount because it's not a typical nib. you know, so you're going to maybe be able to go from like a medium to a broad, but definitely not, you know, super crazy. You can reverse right, but I don't know if you can hear that. It's really, really scratchy if you reverse right, but you can do it if you need to. Quick writing. I got one skip there, but I'm not sure if it was actually a skip or if I just lifted my, you know, the pen from the paper. I really haven't had any issues with it skipping. I have had an issue a couple times with a hard start on here on the Clairefontaine paper. This is Rhodia. Just when I very first go to write, it depending on the coating of the paper, sometimes it takes a second to catch. But I've only had that a few times. I would say maybe like 5% of the time that I write. So it's really not a concern for me. And it's only ever happened on the Clairefontaine paper. Rhodia typically, you know, if you're going to have an issue on Clairefontaine, you'll have an issue on Rhodia as well, but I haven't really ever had a issue. So I've been really, really happy with this. I'm really glad that I purchased it. Oh, one thing as well is you can't eyedrop or convert it because everything is metal. So I don't know if, you know, that's a deal breaker for you, but, you know, just so you know. I really would recommend this pen. I really like it. You know, I have only had one Waterman before this, which was the Hemisphere, and I wasn't crazy about it just because it was so thin. But this has a really nice grip section. It's on the smaller side if you still think of like a Montblanc 149 or a Pelican or something like that. But it's going to be larger than, you know, like, it's going to be around the same size as a Lamy 2000. Maybe a little bit smaller, but about there. So it's really comfortable for me. I would absolutely recommend it. If you don't have one already, or if you're kind of like hemming and hawing over it, I would say pull the trigger. And definitely investigate the different finishes as well. There's some flashier ones. There's, you know, a classic one like this. But definitely grab one if you're at all interested. Guys, that's about it for me today. I hope you liked the video. If you did, hit that thumbs up button. If you really liked the video and haven't done so already, please subscribe. New videos get posted every Monday and Friday at noon Eastern Standard Time. And, you know, as always, don't be afraid of the comment section. I try and read them all as soon as I can, and I answer them all as soon as I can as well. Cool. I'll see you guys next time. Bye.